It's Hatchpod time. Maya Acosta here with Olivia Jones, Program Manager for the Kern Economic Development Foundation. Olivia, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was a beautiful drive up.
Yes, of course. We're glad that you made the trip from Bakersfield. Is it all foggy and whatnot still down there, or has that passed?
It was very clear and very beautiful.
Good. I know for the last couple weeks it's been pretty gnarly with the fog and stuff.
I was afraid of snow, and then I come up here and it's like 50 degrees. I'm like, oh, yes, this is perfect.
The weather has been beautiful here, but we're not talking about weather today. We are talking about the Career and STEM Expo that is coming up here in April. We are really looking forward to it. I know the city of Tehachapi has been, big supporters and really excited for all of the programs that come out of KEDF and Kern Economic Development Corporation, all of the wonderful things, involved with Richard Chapman. And it's just so many great programs that you guys do for corporations, industries, students, seriously anybody here locally. So we're excited to talk about it. So that's coming up on April 4th down in Bakersfield at the Career Technical Education Center. Olivia, can you tell me a little bit about this program, the Expo, and what people can expect from it?
Yeah, so this event has been a partnership with the Kern High School District for the past 3 years. It was two separate events that we decided to combine after the pandemic. So Kern High School District had their Career Expo, and Kern Economic Development Foundation had our STEMposium. And so after the pandemic, we just decided to combine forces, and now it's the Kern County Career Expo that happens every April. And there's so much that I could say about this event. It is, as somebody who is putting on the event, it's a big day between like 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. of setup, and just so many wonderful people coming together to put together an event where students from all across the county can come and learn about the STEM pathways that are available to them. And the reason that Kern Economic Development Foundation focuses on the STEM careers is because Kern County is actually the fourth largest STEM-based economy in the entire nation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. And I think we see that a lot with the Energy Summit and a lot of the other programs that are ran through KEDC and KEDF. We have the renewables industry, the aerospace industry, oil, gas, so many different industries that take place here and need those STEM jobs and need those students that are here now to stay here rather than moving somewhere else to go work in similar industries. So I was looking at the website. As you said, there's a lot of talk of STEM careers that will be there, resources for kids, but there's also the career side of it. So lots of presence from fire, police, groups like that. So it's not just STEM, which obviously STEM is very important, but I feel like maybe some kids might think like, oh, I don't know if I'm smart enough for the STEM things. Obviously they are. Can we talk a little bit about what sort of companies and industries we've seen in years past and maybe what we're expecting to see this year? Yeah,
so the STEM Expo incorporates a lot of extra industries that support the Kern County economy because really it's about good paying jobs, and specifically good paying jobs where you don't necessarily need to get a 4-year degree. And that's really where, we're trying to help students realize like it's okay if you don't want to go get a 4-year engineering degree and become an engineer. It's okay to be a police officer. It's okay to be a fireman. And those jobs use STEM in their everyday jobs.
Right.
So obviously we get to include a lot of extra industries. We have a lot of educators that come out that, explain career paths that may not typically be talked about at other career nights and college nights and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's super important too, as you're saying. For some younger kids, the idea of going to college and getting the degree is just not appealing to them. But there are so many jobs that you really can do through training and just knowing about it, knowing the right people and the right places to go, they can still find these very high paying jobs that will set their lives up for success, right? You see it all the time in our aerospace industry or the renewables where I know friends and family members that didn't necessarily go to college and get that full degree, but they put in the work and spent many years just learning their trade. And now they have a very great job and didn't follow that traditional path. So sounds like a great resource for those kids to learn about all of these opportunities. what are some of the activities that kids can expect to do?
I think one of my favorite things, there's two that I really enjoyed seeing last year. One of them, I think, was American Safety Services came out and they had this tripod, and I got to see Mayor Go lifted up into this like harness where, they lift these kids up and they're like, hey, like in this job, we use these pulley systems to get to like big construction areas and tall construction areas to like, fix this and fix that. And then there was also I think it was a carpenters union that came out, and seeing all the kids, smacking a nail into a piece of wood with a hammer. And they were like, this is actually so fun. Like, I didn't know I could do this.
That's pretty cool. You have no idea like what little thing could set off a kid's interest into a future career. Like you said, something as simple as just nailing a nail into a piece of wood.
Yeah. And then it also goes into like more complicated things like Ordees Melby. They bring out their architecture software to show kids like, oh, this is how you design a building.
Oh, that's really cool.
It is really cool. And Jeannie Bertolicini, who sat on our board of directors for a long time, she's a woman architect. So imagine the impact that has on all the little girls being like, I could be a principal architect. I had no clue. Like she's very inspirational in that way. And so there's lots of opportunity for industry to come out and really just inspire kids to seek out whatever their passion could be.
Yeah, absolutely. And the expo is for, correct me if I'm wrong, but middle school and high school students,
Yeah,
right?
middle school and high school.
So there's obviously varying degrees of where these kids are at in their thought process of like, okay, what do I do after high school? Obviously, juniors and seniors in high school are really considering these career options and trying to figure out what their next phase of life is. But it's just as important for those middle schoolers who, as we, are discussing, may come upon one of these, businesses and what they have to offer. And it could totally change their thought process on what they plan to do down the road. So it's really cool that you guys have these resources open to this wide demographic of students. And I think it will be really exciting to see. So you guys have, it's sort of like a career fair with all these different exhibitors. If somebody is interested, a business or a company in being part of the STEM Expo, how do they go about that, being involved?
So if you are an employer and you have a hands-on activity, or if you just want to get in front of the future workforce, I would definitely suggest going to KEDF.org. And then we have a page for the Career in STEM Expo, or you could just type in www.kedf.org/career_STEM_expo. That'll take you directly to the page, and it'll have an exhibitor form. You just click exhibitor registration and it'll walk you through it.
Nice. And this is free for these exhibitors, right?
Yes, every single exhibitor booth is free. A lot of the times we have like really big vehicles come out. So if you have really big vehicles, you can bring, it would be cool if Boron could bring those really big ones, but I don't think we have the room for that. We could do oversized booths. We could do 10 by 10 booths, which is our normal, you just talk to students and all of that. And then we also have some indoor space as well.
Very nice. And so this is kind of it's several hours, right? From 8:30 to 1. Mm-hmm. So the exhibitors there are going to see many waves of different ages of students. But you guys also have a pretty cool schedule of events that you have planned, from a science festival. Hold on. I swear I saw something about like a magic show. Yes. And I was very intrigued by this.
It's a science magic show hosted by a YouTuber. Jason Latimer is his name. He is a YouTube science magician. He is so engaging, and he uses science in all of his little magic things. And then he also brings a team. And this is something that really, I have two little sisters that are just now becoming like junior high age. Mm-hmm. And every year I take them to the expo, and their favorite part is the hands-on learning. Yeah. That we do in the Matrix Achievement Center, the MAC, and that's indoors. And Jason's team comes and actually explains, does some of the magic, mm-hmm. and then explains the science behind it.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like one-on-one learning, but it's also like, oh my gosh, it's really, it blows me away.
Yeah. And I think that's also like a cool introduction, as students get into high school, and if they go into college, the sort of science labs and whatnot that you're able to do. I mean, I struggle so bad with science and math.
Me
It's
too.
just like never anything that I was good at, but I still can remember the things that I learned about. Well, okay, maybe not, but I remember thinking that the science experiments that we got to do during the labs were like so cool, and how different chemicals interacted with one another. I guess I couldn't tell you what chemicals react with one another now, but I remember.
I know how to not kill myself cleaning the house, and that's about as far as I get.
So you get to learn these cool, at times, real life science magic, basically. But that could be, again, another moment that turns a light on for these students, and provides a new interest of what they may want to do down the road. So in addition to the magic show of sorts, we also have SoCal Gas that's going to be doing a lab science activity. Do you know sort of what that will be?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I should totally know what it is because my dad worked for SoCal Gas for like 25 years.
Yes, but it'll be a surprise for us all.
No, it's a demonstration of natural gas and its power for sure. And my dad worked for SoCal Gas for 25 years, and so I very vividly remember sitting in, I think it's the Wheeler Ridge base, which is on the Grapevine, going south of Bakersfield, and seeing these giant monitors, totally from the 80s or the 90s, and watching my dad and his coworkers, measuring all of the different pressures and all of these things. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I can't do numbers to save my life. But my dad doesn't have a high school degree. My dad started as a meter reader at SoCal Gas.
Wow.
And worked his way up to a supervisor for those bases. So even just, careers like that can be sparked from demonstrations.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. This all just sounds really cool. We've also got live demonstrations from canine officers.
That one was a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
So CTEC has their officer Enzo and his handler. Oh my gosh, she's a beautiful lady. I forgot her name, but she's wonderful. So Enzo is her partner. So they're actually considered a unit together. And so just watching them interact and, do the practice runs of the drugs and all of that was super eye-opening. And of course, everybody loves dogs. And he's the sweetest and so handsome little dog.
Very cool demonstration. I think that's also a really great way to show students that being a police officer isn't, just the generic what you might think. There's so many different roles within the police role or world. I could say, dispatcher, canine officer, records clerk, whatever it may be. There's so much more to it. So another great way to kind of open the door.
Even just data, dealing with the data that they have to log.
Yeah.
That's actually STEM.
Yeah. Yeah, and a hugely important job as well.
Yes.
Cool stuff. So we have all sorts of other activities. Drone operations. That sounds really cool.
So the Career Technical Education Center has a robotics engineering program. And I don't know if they're the ones who do the drones, but they definitely have the robot dogs from Boston Dynamics. And unfortunately, I've been around enough for the students to know that I hate those things.
They're kind of freaky.
They terrorize me. they come at me. So, but it's really good for the students and the attendees to see. And I think last year there was a chicken running around.
Like a robot chicken or a real chicken?
No, a real chicken.
Okay.
I think one of the ag. I think
see.
Like an FFA from one of the high schools came out and brought some little tiny farm animals. And so there was a chicken and a pig running around.
Nice. So you get the best of it all.
Yes.
Because STEM isn't what you think of traditionally, robots and science and numbers. It also is hugely important for ag.
Did you know that we have a veterinarian shortage? We talked about this last year too.
Oh,
so
no.
If there's any students that's interested in veterinary sciences, please pursue it.
Okay.
We need it so bad.
I assume there would be some good resources for students here at the Expo for that, correct?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
RSC and CTEC have a veterinary sciences program.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. That's kind of one of those careers that like as a little kid you're like, yeah, I want to be a vet. But then when you grow up, I feel like, I don't know, maybe that just kind of falls out of the forefront of your mind, but it's still.
Especially if you're not dealing with animals every day.
Right.
Especially large animals like horses and cows and all of that. Because most people are dealing with, dogs and cats, and they're like, oh yeah, I get my fill of dogs and cats at home.
Right.
But veterinary sciences goes, there's rabbits, large animals, there's so much. And especially because we're such an ag-centric economy.
Yes.
We would really need some veterinarians to come in and check on those cows.
Yeah. And we're talking about the large animal side of things too, but then you think Kern County is we have this recurring issue with stray dogs and stray cats all over the place from Bakersfield up here in Tehachapi. And there is just always a shortage of veterinary care to get these pets fixed and then get their basic shots and get them ready to go into homes. So again, great resource, great career to follow to stay here in Kern County.
Yeah, and make good money.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then we also have some demonstrations from fire technology, talking about PPE and gear. I'm sure that
you get to shoot the fire hose at the event.
Nice.
It was so cute watching a little tiny 7th grader boy pull it and get yanked in whatever direction. It was really cute. And his smile, oh my gosh, his smile after like pulling that lever, it was unmatched.
Yes, I can definitely believe that. I'm sure it was very surprising and eye-opening to these students of like the amount of strength that you would need. Like you're just like, yeah, I'm just turning on a fire hose. No, that thing is...
Even the bulletproof vest, they're like, oh my gosh, I'd have to carry this around all day.
Right.
Yeah,
that's pretty
so cute. But it empowers them. They're like, ooh, like I feel like a big, strong man doing this.
Right, exactly.
It's adorable.
I like it. And then we've got a Pathfinder Optics demonstrating a state-of-the-art drone used for inspecting confined spaces. I think that's pretty interesting too, because it shows the world of drones anymore is pretty insane. We hear about it all the time in the news. Yeah. So it goes beyond that. Just the what the heck are these drones doing flying in the sky? They're used for so many different purposes. So in here,
and they're going to continue. That's a huge industry that'll grow.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Is drone operations, yeah.
It's really interesting.
Even just like marketing. Marketing uses drones all the time.
Yeah. It's really crazy. From the drone air shows that they're doing now in place of fireworks. Oh, obviously, you got to be trained to learn how to do that. But then there's this side of things used for inspecting hard to reach places and buildings, which is also really important. Down to, again, police. They have to
utilize probably that. Mining as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Going deep into mines, yeah.
Yeah. There's so many uses for this. So really interesting, burgeoning industry, like the whole world of drones. I think that's pretty cool. I get to fly the drone for this job, and I'm just doing like the very baseline of things, flying around taking pictures and things.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so important for marketing and video production.
Yeah, hugely important. And definitely there's a lot that goes into it. I know maybe I'm sounding pretentious, but it's like, having to learn like the proper, FAA regulations and things.
That would intimidate me. That's why I don't do it.
Right.
Like, I'll have somebody else do it. I'll pay them.
Yes, exactly. So you've got to be, a trained professional to do these sorts of things. So a whole day packed with tons of events and activities for the kids. And as you can tell, just a wide variety of all sorts of industries and interests and potential career paths to you. So as you were saying, you teamed up with the high school district, right?
Kern High School District.
Do this here about a few years ago. How long has the STEM Expo been going on prior to that, as a standalone event?
Let's see. I think Chevron has been a part of the Stemposium since its inception. And that, I want to say it was around 2015 or 2016. I think 2016. The whole goal of it was to just showcase how STEM is used in the workplace. And then I think Kern High School District, the Career Expo was around when I was in high school. So that's at least like 2012.
Yeah.
2012 to 2014. So I think those are about the timelines for both of those events.
Well, it's cool to see them come together and, again, just offer such a wide variety of career ideas and resources for these kids. Is there anything new that we're looking forward to at this year's Career and STEM Expo?
Last year was our best year ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2024 was the best year. Jason Latimer was such a big hit that we invited him back this year. The logistics, everything just went so smoothly. The buses had their own routes. There was good parking available. I mean, parking is always going to be an issue with an event with over 4,000 attendees.
Yeah.
But it was still so much smoother than the years before. So I think this year, what we've talked about is we'll probably be bringing some more, I think, esports. I think esports is something that we're talking about bringing in because there's a pretty big esports scene in Bakersfield.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. I'm hoping to bring on the Bakersfield Esports Center. The Bakersfield Esports Center actually hosts like actual tournaments where people drive up from LA.
Wow.
Yeah, so that if you guys don't know about that, it is on Norris Road, close to the 99.
Okay.
And check that out because they're a fantastic family, absolutely sweet. And so we're hoping to get them involved. And then we're also bringing on a mariachi band, I think from Foothill High School in
nice.
Bakersfield. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's super fun.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Also, it's really interesting. I mean, people can build whole careers in esports. I don't know much about this. I remember when I was in college, we had actually a pretty legit esports team.
Which college?
Wichita State.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They definitely, I know for sure they have an Overwatch team.
Okay.
And because that's the game that I play. So.
Yes, absolutely. But it's interesting. I mean, it's so popular nowadays for kids to, well, not kids, people of all ages to like stream on Twitch and play all sorts of games. But it's just interesting. You know, you hear kids nowadays be like, I want to be an influencer when I grow up, which is different. But it's all kind of in the same realm of like using these. There's so many online platforms nowadays that you can, just come up with all these interesting careers that really fit into your interests and, your hobbies. So I don't know. That'd be cool.
People even stream like woodworking.
Right. Yeah.
Which that's a STEM career.
Yeah.
You're measuring stuff, you're cutting wood and all of that. Like there's definitely lots of ways that even just normal careers can be integrated into being an influencer.
That's really cool.
So
definitely interesting stuff. So that'd be cool to learn more from Bakersfield Esports. And I think for a lot of kids, that would be very interesting.
It would be really cool to have some kids build a PC.
Oh yeah.
I think I might suggest that. Be like, hey, let's build a gaming PC. Like, what are the components? What do the components do?
Yeah.
I know this because my husband made me learn how to build my own.
Right.
So.
And that's really important for people that like are taking gaming and all the online streaming or whatever it may be very seriously. Is you have to have a computer that can handle the amount of programs that are running and have enough storage. I mean, from like my experience with video editing, you got to have a computer that can handle all of the photos, videos, and the programs. So that, as you're saying, is really interesting.
How do I max my frames per second?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's a big question that a lot of gamers have to think about, and that is all based off of the graphics card and all of that. So
yeah, and things that you would learn with a career in STEM.
Exactly.
Very cool. So another thing that the Kern Economic Development Foundation does is the Kern Intern Connections Program. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what does it offer?
So Kern Intern Connections is KEDF's internship program. This is a summer internship program that was the brainchild of the principal of ROC&C Tech, Brian Miller, and KEDF Executive Director, Richard Chapman. Richard has always been interested in doing an internship program, expanding internship opportunities in Kern County specifically. That's really what his passion is how do we encourage local employers to hire interns?
Yeah.
And so what we've done is we've partnered with ROC to match employers across Kern County with students that have industry experience from ROC&C Tech programs. So we have a great partnership with the Manufacturing Alliance of Kern, which is a program of Kern EDC. And a lot of these manufacturers, Kern Steel, Century Rubber, these are all local manufacturers.
Yeah.
Local companies that are taking on an intern that's a graduating high school student and getting them involved in the workforce, with a job that could turn into an amazing potential career.
That is really cool. And so you guys are always open to new businesses that would want to be, the host of these interns, right?
Yes. So what's fantastic about this program is that we are incredibly flexible with how we can support our employers. So the main meat and potatoes of the program is we do salary reimbursement.
Wow.
So if you're a certain size of company, we can reimburse the company for the salary that you guys have paid to the student for 8 weeks.
That's awesome. I mean, that's such a big hurdle is the paid versus paid internships, right?
Paid versus unpaid internships. Yeah.
Whether it's the student, the intern themselves. I mean, I remember being that age and being like, wow, that internship sounds really cool, but it's unpaid.
When I was in college, I interned with Congress and I was unpaid.
Yeah. But it's a great experience.
It is, but
to incentivize.
I had to work at a restaurant. So I would, work an 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And work another 8-hour shift. Well, 6 to 8 hour shifts.
Yeah. And that makes it, a lot more difficult for the intern to really be able to immerse themselves, I guess.
And even just being able to digest what you learn.
Yeah.
Because going from an unpaid internship to a paid internship, at the paid internship, you don't have to go somewhere else to make your money. You can actually go home, marinate in the things that you learned for the day.
Yeah.
And, I think one of the statistics is 71.4% 1-year retention rate for employees with internal internship experience versus 42% for no interns.
Wow.
You're more likely to get hired and stay hired.
Yeah.
If you have paid internship experience.
That is really, really interesting. And I think huge for, kind of the theme and part of the mission of the Career in STEM Expos to build the talent and maintain it here in Kern County. Because I think we see so often, no offense to Kern County, but people who grow up here, a lot of them spend their whole lives being like, oh my God, I need to get out of here.
I need to get out of here. I was the same way. I went away to SoCal for college, came back, and I was like, I cannot find an internship.
Yep.
So when Richard brought me on to the foundation, him and I were both like, we need to do an internship program. We need to figure out how we can expand opportunities and specifically expanding them in industries that we want to support their growth, like manufacturing, aerospace, ag, oil, the industries that the EDC is working with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is huge. And so if there's a business listening or a potential student listening that wants to learn more about this program, the internship program, and those opportunities, how can they do so?
So I'm very proud of this. KernIntern.com.
Nice. That's super easy.
So easy.
See, that shows how desperately the internship programs are needed here.
Yeah.
That domain was still available.
Yeah, exactly. We're very excited. We have some great industry partners and we're always looking to expand. And if Tehachapi wants to hire an intern, a company Tehachapi wants to hire an intern, we will do everything we can to support getting that intern into Tehachapi in whatever way that we can. We obviously have budget limits, but we do our best to be as flexible as possible for each employer.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard somebody talk about that before at I don't know, some meeting somewhere that, as you're saying, if it's a student down in Bakersfield, but they are interested in working for some Tehachapi company or maybe out in Boron or Mojave, you guys will help with the transportation cost or needs, right?
Yeah. We can do gas cards.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, that's what a barrier that is. Because Kern County is pretty unique in that I feel like there's so much travel between all the different cities.
It's funny. Literally yesterday I went to Delano for dinner.
Really?
And then I'm here in Tehachapi today.
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
but that's the beauty of Kern County is that I go to Taft pretty often just because I love Taft.
Yeah.
Asian Experience is my favorite restaurant of all time.
I've never been.
Oh my gosh, please go. Guy Fieri loves it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a picture of the owner and Guy Fieri on the wall as you walk in. It's, oh my gosh, the best. I mean, Thai Hatchpee is really good as well, but
Mojave Thai as well.
Okay, so that's where I got to go next.
Yes, you got to go there.
So you'll go to Taft, I'll go to Mojave.
Yes. Again, we're speaking to the all the great things that Kern County has to offer and why, the workforce needs to stay here. We've
Exactly.
got great food and such diverse industries all over the place throughout the county. I love it. So now for people listening and all about the Career and STEM Expo, they're like, whoa, that sounds cool. I want my kid to go. You're not signing up individual students. It's by the school themselves has to sign on, right?
So if there's homeschool, if you're a homeschool group parent, you're more than welcome to come as well.
Okay. Good to know.
You just have to contact the administrator, and they'll have that information on the website. So.
Okay, that's good to know because I know we have a lot of homeschool and charter school programs here in Tehachapi that I think that would be hugely impactful for.
And if they can't find the information, they can always reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to help.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so again, the Career and STEM Expo happening down in Bakersfield at the Career Technical Education Center, April 4th. Did we miss anything? Is there anything else that you want to add about this upcoming event?
I think we got everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did.
Awesome. So there is a ton to be experienced and learned about, so many resources to take advantage of, lots of connections to be made. Just an overall very valuable event for the county at large. And as I said, the city of Tehachapi is very excited to support this event and, all the programs that KEDF and KEDC have to offer. So Olivia, thanks for joining us and driving up from Bakersfield.
It's my pleasure. And the current EDC office and the foundation, we just appreciate the partnership that we've been able to develop with the city of Tehachapi. And if there's anything we can ever do for you guys, you just let us know.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, remind folks, what is the easiest way to find out about all of this information? What's your website?
So KEDF.org, it's a very easy website to navigate. And then for the internship program, it's kernintern.com.
Awesome. Perfect. So lots of information on there. I was just on your website earlier. And it is very easy to manage to go through and learn all about the programs that you guys have to offer. Olivia, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Maya.
Of course. Okay. And if you're listening and you have any sort of questions, you can email us media@tehachapicityhall.com and we can get them sent over to Olivia or answered ourselves. And as always, thanks so much for tuning in. We hope to catch you back here next time on Tehachapod.